Hi Cancer, here is a general look at your solar chart for June 2016. You've got a lot of good things going for you actually at the moment, Cancer. Even though the sun is in a quieter sort of area for you for 2/3 of the month, longer term influences are really good. That's Jupiter and Neptune, and I just want to mention Jupiter and Neptune because for us all, you know, Jupiter and Neptune has been producing a kind of certain vibe which is a little bit elusive. It's just a little bit kind of, you could construe it as being very idealistic and aspirational, but you could also construe it as being kind of ambiguous and even murky, because, you know, it could be others leading us up the garden path more easily. There is a danger of that at this time. I was saying last month, and I think the month before, there's a lot of confusion around, a lot of kind of a sort of a haze over things, and that would be to do with the opposition of Neptune onto Jupiter. But also this month coming in here, as that one fades away, we've got Saturn coming onto Neptune. So it's an interesting time. I would say that this month is when we get our feet more firmly on the ground with things. We begin to get our feet more firmly on the ground with things. You know, certain kind of the die will get cast or begin this month anyway. That Saturn-Neptune transit, which is more grounded, will be going on until October, by the way. So there's quite a long kind of go of this, and this is kind of globally, but it will affect you particularly. The Jupiter Neptune one is actually probably you're going to get Jupiter Neptune not so much in that deluding kind of mood that those two can get into, and the escapist mode, although there will be a leaning in that direction. And why not, you know, why not just get, you know, get off the merry-go-round for a bit. It's a really good idea, but don't expand too far too fast. You know, don't get a bee in your bonnet about how somebody is coming whose ideas contain all the answers, or indeed maybe it's an idea, maybe it's not a person that is going to solve all the you know, and you fail to see it or them in their real, for what they really are, warts and all. That is always a danger with Jupiter Neptune, but like I say, you're more likely to get the best of Jupiter Neptune, because Jupiter Neptune for you at the moment is really good. Saturn, however, is coming in, and that will ground down that kind of castles in the air energy of Jupiter Neptune, and whatever it's about, you know. There's a load of other interpretations that I mean I can't even cover here. It depends on where they were in your natal chart, and all sorts of other little things, but it's where you're at the moment. But in general anyway, so across the world, I mean, we do have this astrological weather, this cosmic weather system called Jupiter Neptune, but now in June and coming on more, you know, June, July, August, September, we're getting this grounding influence of Saturn onto Neptune. But it's not without its problems, you know. So there's a lot of dreams and idealizations and a certain amount of haze and ambiguity, because we really don't know whether we're being led up the garden path or not. We really don't know whether the whole, you know, all the promises, all the sort of kind of beating of the drums about things is just going to all dissolve and melt away afterwards, you know, when whatever or whoever it is gets its way with us. There's a lot of this kind of thing flying around in the skies at the moment, wafting around the planet, and at this time we have to strive, now this month, as Saturn comes in to say, okay, wake up, smell the coffee, this is real now, for us to strive to tap into that reality check energy of Saturn, without getting too pessimistic, without letting anybody press our fear button, without listening to pessimism as well, and because that is undermining and that is a low vibration. So we don't want to go that way. We want to go the way of creativity and hope and realistic hope, you know. So this is a period where there's a danger of getting things out of proportion and perhaps eventually shooting ourselves in the foot because of that. This is a time to balance the ultimate ideal with how it can be ploddingly achieved and initiated or instigated over time on the timeline. This is not a time to be throwing away what has already been sloggingly achieved in the past, in the sort of relatively recent past. That's not over, like, you know, hundreds of years. Although there is an element of that. There is absolutely an element of that. But I'm thinking more of the more recent past. And this is a time, remember, for upheaval, for democracy, capitalism, all sorts of belief systems across the planet. You know, whether you have an affinity with that or this ology or that ism or party or circle or group or a religious persuasion, this is a time of huge mix and match and change and certain ideas have had their moment and will just be washed away, but the idea of strength in numbers is coming in stronger and stronger and stronger as we go forwards over these next many years, and that's what the astrology says. But not just the astrology, because as I've mentioned before, I would say it's the writing on the wall. Yeah, that's how I would put it. So now, remember, Mars is retrograde at the moment. I mentioned that last month, and this is not a time for major assaults, major, you know, steps forward into a brave new world. This is not the time, because if you do that under a Mars retrograde, or if we do that under a Mars retrograde, it's likely to backfire. It's likely to kind of go really sluggishly over a very long time. And then be fraught with snags and kind of obstacles. So this is a time for steadily driving forward, making the most of what is, steadily driving forward towards the vision. Hold the vision and work through the steps to get that vision created. That's not just for your sign, that's not just for your country, that's for all of the countries, that's for all of the signs. Okay? So this would be a really good subject for a kind of brainstorming session, actually, because sometimes I think, you know, like I'm giving you a bit of a lecture, but anyway, this is what's going on, and me as the astrologer, okay, with my astrological hat on. So here's some Sun Saturn suggestions, working consistently towards what is best for the common good. What's best for the common good, or a common cause, a good cause maybe, but as you are part of the common good, then it's working towards what's best going to be for you, and also, you know, maybe your offspring, or what you leave for the future. So rather than isolating, it's time for joining. However, and I will say this, I think I said that last month or the month before, this is also a time for our individuality to be really clarified. We need the space to sort out who we are and why we are, and you know, and then with that kind of make an informed decision about, you know, whose club we want to join with. And this is a fabulous time for working with things like the law of attraction, by the way, and manifesting the world that you would like, and for yourself, but also for others. But also with this particular energy, Saturn, Neptune, and I wrote a lot about that last month. It'll be up on my website, DianaGarland.com, this month as well. For those of you that didn't see it. But this bit that I'm talking about now is another way you can translate the energies in all sorts of ways, because the energies, it's not the energies that I'm translating, it's our reactions to the energies. So I can only do that from my type of life and my type of kind of the connections that I make in my brain, you know. Of course there's as many astrologies as there are astrologers, and also there's many belief systems as there are really probably souls on this planet, you know, because everybody's going to construe that slightly differently. Well, I hope they do. God, I mean, otherwise we're just all automatons doing what we're told, what's dictated to us, without any free will whatsoever. And we wouldn't like that, would we? Especially as us kids who were young in the 60s. We would definitely not like that. So, anyway, so yeah, dream, do art, you know, great for the creatives, great for the artistics, great for the musicians. I mean, I don't know if artistics is a word, but you know what I mean. Meditate, connect with the higher levels, connect with your oversoul, your higher self, connect with nature, you know, just get out there and kind of get into that kind of amazing wholeness and completeness of nature, which doesn't sort of chop things up like chopped liver with analysis and criticism and judgment, you know. And yes, it's ferocious, but it's an amazing raging beauty. So in other words, do whatever uplifts and refines your own nature and also soothes your heart. So anyway, I'll get off that particular soapbox. Now, first week, vitality might drop and drip. Confidence might drop a bit in the first week, so best perhaps not. Maybe you don't get the clarity, maybe you're just doubting a bit on things, whatever it is. Maybe it's just a general sort of dip in your energy levels, I don't know, but the world might just weigh more heavily on your shoulders, and you might feel a little bit kind of, I don't know, you might feel lonely a little bit, or you might feel misunderstood. Oh, I don't know, I could speculate forever, but that's the kind of gist of it. And then the bulk of the month is apart from the Saturn Neptune thing, where we got to strive to be realistic and do what's doable, you know, on the timeline. Don't let anybody kind of lead you astray on anything. Now, then just listen to your intuition. I mean, that's the thing. Then right at the very end of the month, there's an opposition between Venus and Pluto, which is worth a mention because it might mean an intensity, you know, a real emotional turmoil going on between you and someone, or just maybe it's just you, I don't know, but definitely worth a mention. Or it might be passion, you know, very strong feelings anyway. Very short, it's like the last day and over the next couple of days of early July. It can also mean not necessarily in relationship or what's shared and opinions about that, but it might be like a kind of a breakthrough moment. It could even be like that, but not without having to let go of something else, really. Maybe having to kind of sort of change your standpoint on something. Or it might be to do with money, property. Again, tends to be shared stuff. So that's just at the very last day or two of the month. Now, other news is that the solar energies are pulling you inwards into introspective activities, maybe in that chrysalis that I talk about, or in the castle walls, you know, because this is kind of preparation time for when the sun comes into your sign from later in the month. So it's a time to be feeling and sensing from your deeper knowing, your deeper levels, in whatever way, you know, whether that's in through the arts, whether that's business, whether it's just, you know, in day-to-day life, and allowing that kind of feeling of just kind of letting go, zoning out every now and again, dreaming, working in a private bubble with others intuitively or not, and working in healing, nurturing ways with others as well, whether that's you needing the support or you giving the support. Either way will work with this one. Right from the beginning of the month until the 13th, Mercury is, you know, again, in this collective modality, socializing, but also, again, within this kind of bubble of others, or maybe it's just certain friends, maybe it's to do with online, maybe it's like the networking type stuff, maybe it's social media. All of that is great, you know, the interchange going on there. But again, this more introspection, this more you're not giving all of yourself to the outer world, because you're just turning things over in your mind and in your heart, particularly from the 13th. Then you really are. But remember that, well, you can't remember if I didn't tell you, but anyway, Venus is also in there up until the 18th, and you might not want to share your feelings in a very open way with somebody, or for some reason, or you will just not be in the mood to do so. You tending to again connect with the more ethereal levels for some of you, or through art, or kind of just being more with yourself. So there might be inner turbulence going on. You might be in a special environment with others, and I must say, if you are, whether this is a nurturing, caring sort of a way, or in another sort of a way, maybe it's an ongoing kind of group, but just at the moment you're more sensitive to them, then they're likely to be supportive, and also you're likely to be there for them as well. So that's good. And then from the 18th, Venus comes into your sign. That's very different. That makes you more outgoing, especially from the 21st, even though Mercury is still in that quite closed, more dreamy, more intuitive, more nurturing, healing kind of area, maybe trying to work things out, burning the midnight oil on things. But Venus comes out into your sign on the 18th, and of course the Sun comes into your sign on the 21st. So that is you being reaching out, meeting the world with more ease and enthusiasm, and feeling the warmth, feeling attractive and good in your skin, because others, you know, the way they are responding to you show you that that's what you are, you know. So loving yourself very much is a possibility with Venus here. Now Mars is going backwards all month, and that means that it's sort of blunted a bit, the sharpness is taken away, and you've got to be more strategic and canny and a bit shrewd in the romantic area, or to do with children, or affairs of children. Don't be hasty, or animals as well, or anything that you love to do in a creative kind of a way, or in a competitive way, or in a performance related sort of way, and this is the time to get on with creative projects, but do not do a major launch. No way. After the 29th is good. After the 29th. And then just mentioning Saturn in your area of the job, and all matters of practical nature, and very much a service orientated area, looking after health, your own or somebody else's, but also keeping things ticking over with general maintenance and repairs, and learning practical skills, kind of sharpening up skills as well, and you can become kind of wise, and plugging away at things. This is here until late 2017. Be patient. You might have to work harder, but be patient. You'll get there. You Cancerians born the 1st to the 5th of July, or with 10 to 14 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. And then Jupiter expansiveness will tend to support a more outgoing, upbeat frame of mind. This is in a very good angle for you, and writing or other forms of creative self-expression, really, really good. On quite a learning curve with this one until September. Daily exchanges it tends to boost your mood, tends to make you think, the glass is half full rather than half empty. And because you think that, because you feel that, and because you expect that, that is exactly what you're going to get. If you say that, but you're actually secretly expecting something else, then you're probably not going to get it. So you need to know it's yours. It's yours. You deserve it. It's owed. Cancerians, I've said that. No, I haven't. Cancerians born from the 4th to the 9th of July, or with 13 to 18 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. And then for Uranus, you Cancerians born the 13th to the 17th of July, 21 to 25 degrees rising. And Pluto 6th to the 9th of July, with 15 to 18 degrees rising. And that's it. If you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to those. And also, this is all written up on DianaGarland.com if you want to check anything out. And I'll see you the next time.